that's it. That's all the seeds. Thanks for watching.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
Hi. Well, I've made a few additional purchases, as us gardeners tend to do. Not too many, actually. Hi, this is my cat, by the way. She says hello. Do I need to kick you off? No? Alright. Tango celery. I've already got the Utah tall celery that I've been growing indoors, but I wanted to try a celery that might give me more of a munchable celery. Utah tall is fine, but it's more in soups and cooked items. Sweet marjoram. I did not have this herb. Now I do. Opalka tomato. This is a paste tomato. Apparently it's quite good. We'll give it a go. And Kim's Civil War Oxheart tomato. I haven't grown an Oxheart tomato. Now I will be able to. And lastly, once again, not too extravagant, they've got some black pearl peppers and some blue Christmas peppers. Only 6 more types of seeds. That's not too bad. Of course, I'm not including the 3 fruit trees I purchased and bunches of strawberries, but those aren't seeds, they're plants. They don't count, right? Seeds. It's March 23rd, 2024, and I'm running out of room, or rather I have run out of room. Alright, let's find out how things are doing. I've got a lot of peppers, a lot of flowers, and a couple of tomatoes, and other things. Let's see what they are. Here I've got a tray of mostly younger peppers. Got a couple of Blue Christmas going. A King of the North. This is the 3rd one I've started, I think. Possibly. There's some mislabeling going on with some of the peppers. King of the North has been a very interesting one. I'd say I got 50% germination on the seeds. It wasn't fantastic. Some black pearls. They're about ready to be transplanted for the most part. These are actually pretty good. I got 100% germination on them. So that was pleasant to see. Got some Tobago peppers going. These are a pepper primarily used to make powders. I grew it a few years ago. I didn't get much production out of it, so I figured I'd give it another try before I move on to other plants to see if it's any good. More peppers. What else we have here? We have an unlabeled pepper. Based on the leaf and how it's growing, it's split in the middle here, and I didn't even top it. This is actually kind of interesting. I suspect this is a Santa Fe pepper. I've got 4 of those going. Here's some more peppers. Got some Lesia peppers. You'll see this guy, this girl, this lady, is a little bit wrinkly. I'm getting the same with all my Lesia peppers. I had the same issue with them last year when they were growing inside, but once they got outside, they were much better. Some of them seem to be recovering. I recently uppotted them, so we'll see if the new nutrients help at all. What else do we have in here? Got some cayenne peppers. I'm not going to grow as many cayennes as I did last year because I'm actually still using up what's left. Making some mash from some cayenne peppers with a bit of spicy paprika peppers. And I'm going to make some more hot sauce. Some more cayenne peppers. The cayenne peppers always grow really well. These are long, slim cayenne peppers. Got some more Santa Fe over here. A shishito plant. I do have some flowers forming on most of these at this point. I'm just going to take that off. We're not ready for you to flower. I've still got about 2 months before these go outside. They're gonna get big. Rather than taking everything out of my tent, how about we travel inside and see what we have? We got a nice Jimmy Nardello going on here. These all need to be watered. King of the North. More Jimmy Nardello. The Jimmy Nardello has been extremely productive. It's growing really well. It is producing flowers but I am not ready for flowers yet. More Alessias. We've got some more, a couple of shishito peppers. Yeah, a couple more cayennes. We got a lot of stuff in here. If you want a productive pepper, Jimmy Nardello might be the way to go. It seems to be a popular pepper to grow, based on all the online readings I've seen. Did I not have jalapenos? This is a bit confusing. I suspect some of my jalapenos were mislabeled and tagged as cayenne peppers. Huh. Interesting. These peppers are very thirsty. I keep my water in a 5-gallon food-safe bucket. It's actually from, I believe this used to hold pickles. This allows me to keep the water at a more constant temperature. They don't like super cold water. It allows me to also add things like CalMag into the whole thing for indoor growing. You don't need certain things outside as much because the soil life naturally produces it for you, but indoors, that soil life doesn't always exist. And you don't necessarily want it to exist because it can get pretty buggy. Fungus gnats is enough bugginess for me. Thank you. If my final pepper count is remotely accurate, and the total count will be accurate, the varieties, however, is a different question. It appears that I have 7 Lesia peppers, 5 Santa Fe peppers, 4 shishito peppers, 4 Tobago peppers, 3 Jimmy Nardello, even though I was sure I started more seeds than that, 2 King of the North, 2 plus 1 King of the North, 4 cayennes. However, pretty sure I only did 2 cayennes and 2 jalapenos. Luckily, they look very different once they start growing, so it'll be pretty easy to identify quickly what's going on. And of course, I've got 5 black pearl peppers to be transplanted soon, 3 blue Christmas peppers. As for the next item, we have some tomatoes. These are, I only wanted to start a few ahead of time. I don't want to have too many tomato plants all over the place. So I started some brandywines on March 9th. They seem to be doing quite well. I'll be transplanting them into their own pots shortly, once I actually have more room. Aroma tomatoes, I'm going to try to get 2 batches of aromas in this year, so we'll see how that goes. Questionable Paul Robson tomato. I had about 10 seeds left over. They're several years old. This is the only one that sprouted, and it took a while. So we'll see how it does. In terms of herbs, we got some rosemary going. I've got 3 more plants somewhere in here that are growing, but this is the oldest one so far. French lavender. I'll be transplanting these into their own pots shortly. This one is perennial, so it'll be coming back every year. Sage. Got a little bit of parsley. Took a while for the seeds to get going, but they eventually got there. Got some gailan. This is broccoli. You grow it mostly for the leaves. I probably should have started outside, but I didn't. Mint. Some garlic chives. Let's take a journey in the grow tent. I've got a lot of flowers. Maybe too many flowers. Love Lies Bleeding amaranth. The yellow-greenish ones. And the ones behind the yellow ones are red garnet amaranth. Love Lies Bleeding was planted last year, and it was a pretty cool plant. Produces a bunch of grains towards the end of the season, which makes it look extra cool. Back at the corner there, we've got some painted daisies growing. They look great the first year. They do come back, but they don't look so painted the second year. More like just plain white daisies. Still nice, but not painted. Alongside these, we've got a bunch of violas going, and I've also got some purple alyssum and some white alyssum going. Here are the snapdragons. I've got about 50 of these going. We've got some rainbow snapdragons, which is just a mix of different colored snapdragons, and some white snapdragons. This is most of them, but I've got a few more in some other pots. So, should be quite interesting this year with all the snapdragons, assuming they all survive. Here I've got some superhero marigolds, which are apparently cold tolerant. and some creme brulee marigolds. These are the creme brulee. Germination on them wasn't so great. Superhero marigolds, however, great germination. And then a bit to the left here, we've got some more violets. These are seeds that I got from a plant a few years ago, and I pretty much used them all up this year to see what sprouts. And still pretty good sprouting, although they are in desperate need of being transplanted soon. The weather is getting better, so hopefully that will happen in the near future. Over here, we've got some straw flowers. I've got some purple straw flowers and some copper straw flowers. They are currently in the process of sprouting. So far, the purple straw flowers are doing pretty well. I am not yet seeing any copper straw flowers, however. Alright, what else do we have? Over here, we've got some... What do I have? I've got a couple of sea hollies. I'm growing these from seed. These are perennial. They should come back. I don't want to plant too many this year. I don't believe they're invasive from what I've looked up, but they do easily reseed, so I'll have to be careful about that. Phases of Cheyenne Spirit Echinacea. This seed I just started January 23rd of this year. These seeds I stratified for about 30 days in the fridge. And then this one here I left outside for about 30 days. In fairness to this one, I did plant more seeds. This one and this one only had 2 seeds planted, and both have sprouted in this one. However, one of them is looking a little sketchy, so I don't think it's going to make it. But in terms of what sprouted, the biggest one, which was the one that was just started in the pot indoors, only one of 2 sprouted. I got 100% germination on the other ones, stratified both outside and inside for 30 days. In the fridge, stratified rather. So I don't know. Stratification may help. The only reason there's a difference in size is that these had an extra 30 days before they got going. But they're really actually, these leaves weren't here. The first real leaves weren't here 2 days ago. So it's starting to take off now. See, some more snapdragons here. Here we have some hardy hibiscus, this guy. It looks a little less bad than it does on film. However, they could be doing better. The growth seems to have been increasing lately. I think the nutrients I'm giving it are starting to help. Just a very basic 444 nutrient, nothing too powerful at this point in time. And right next to these guys, we have some hollyhocks. I already have some black hollyhocks outside. They're about 3 years old now. They reseed easily. And I've also got a marshmallow plant, which looks basically like a white hollyhock. So these hollyhocks are all the other colors. You know, some reds and some different shades of colors to add to what's existing already. Last on the flowers for now, I've got some black violas going over here. They're doing pretty well. They'll be going outside next week probably. There is some rhubarb. Glaskins Perpetual Rhubarb. I've got 3 of these going right now. I will give 2 away and keep 1 for myself. I've already got a Victoria rhubarb in my backyard, and she'll be getting her first harvest this year, so I'm looking forward to making some rhubarb something or other. Pie, perhaps? Although then I'd have to learn how to make pie crust, so perhaps some other kind of rhubarb situation. I don't know, is rhubarb jam a thing? Probably is. We'll have to give it a shot. And that is it for the grow tent. Well, for this grow tent. I do have another grow tent. However, it's currently occupied for about another week with some other plant. Lastly, I've run out of rooms where I'm growing some other things here. These are mostly starters. I've got some coleus. This is, I believe, black cherry. Looking forward to what these will look like outside. Much more colorful than the video shows. These, I believe, are dragon's tongue coleus. And everything else here is a bunch of tomato seeds, zinnia seeds, and calendula seeds. Calendula seeds, they sprout really quick. some pak choy. Another fast sprouter. Old seed too. Got a bit of thyme, a bit more rosemary, and a bit more painted daisy. I am also trying to sprout strawberry seed. This is a strawberry with red flowers, which looks interesting, which is why I bought the seeds. I already have a bunch of strawberries. This is Fangorius or whatever it is type of strawberry. I have that variety. I don't have it with red flowers though. And in here we've got some very old raspberry seeds that have been in my fridge for about 3 years. They probably will not sprout, but I figured why not give them a go. Here's our celery. Been going since November. Utah tall celery. The stalks are not as big as your store-bought celery, but they're still very good in soups and stews and all that stuff. And finally, indoors, we have a turmeric plant. Turmeric tubers from the grocery store in November. It's almost 2 feet tall now, so it's doing pretty well. Unfortunately, my greenhouse sustained some damage over the winter. I need to wait for the weather to be a little warmer before I can fix it. Although it has been getting down to minus 18 degrees at night, during the day, if it's sunny, even if it's minus 10 outside, it's actually been hitting 18, 19 degrees Celsius during the day. However, at nighttime, it gets real cold, real fast. Well, it's not a complete disaster. It just means I'll have more room for carrots and other things. Maybe it's not dead. These prunes are not looking so good. So here's my plan. I'm trimming them back. I've already started with the onions. Hopefully, the roots are okay. Oregano's okay, mostly. This guy's still alive. A bit of damage on the lower leaves, but he's not dead. And I got some red onions here. Some damage, but I think they're gonna live. But I'm planting more onion seeds just in case. I should have just enough time in the season. Cutting it pretty close, but better some small onions than none at all. It appears as though 2 or 3 of them might have survived. They're red onions. Things I started earlier than I should have. I've got the heater set up.